I'm here to talk about this week's jackpot with Mshamba. Kwani Mshamba uko wapi?
Niko hapa. Kwani unioni?
Kwani what's the occasion?
Wewe ujui? Si leo tuna introduce millionaires kwa Millionaires Club. Umejua hao ni millionaires tangu ndoto waanze. Angalia, kuna John kutoka Dagoretti, kuna huyu Rose kutoka Ruiru. Unangoja nini? Unaweza kuwa among this list. Ukifanya nini? Cheza Lotto. Join Millionaires Club.
Win every day with Lotto. Play now and you could win a guaranteed 200,000 shillings in the daily jackpot tonight. Plus, you can be one of 10 players to take home 10,000 shillings today. You will also get a free chance to win a guaranteed 1.2 million shillings this Saturday. Cheza tuzidi pamoja. Send 50 shillings to paybill 777 Account Ebru. Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
It's Friday Fun Day and we are so happy that you are here with us. Today on the show, all we hope you get from it is that you have a good time, you talk a little bit of Moshene, and you start your weekend off on good energy, because that's what we're bringing on this table. It's nothing but good vibes. My name is Lydia KM. That's Lydia KM on all social media handles.
My name is Dana DeGrazia. It's Hustle Goddess on Instagram and Twitter.
And my name is Naomi Wamboy, WAMBOE on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
And there's so many people who we see, especially in the comments on YouTube, we see that you're new viewers. So if this is the first time you've joined, this is Let's Talk here on your favorite channel, Ebru TV. And what we do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 6 p.m. is basically bring you all the moshene we can gather, have a good time. Sometimes we do have some very serious information to have you, but majority of the time, we just want to have a good time, right?
Absolutely, 1000%. Because, you know, we don't want to limit ourselves. Like, if you're in a mood where you want to get some, like, information, and you want to do your little research like I like, of course, we want to give that to you. If you want to come here and you be like, girls, I need some drama to distract me from my life, we also want to bring that to you too. So we are excited because we have a little bit of that, like, today. We're here, a little peppering of drama, a little peppering of comedy, a little peppering of deliciousness. So without further ado, it's Hot Talk.
We're on top. Hey, ladies, we're on top. Hey, we're on top.
We're going to start with like the drama side of things. Now, Willie Paul has been known to most of us as a gospel artist, and that's something which he has recently transitioned to secular, which is fine, by the way, in my opinion. Do what pleases you, do what you feel artistically is true to you. And he's been doing pretty good as a musician, secular or gospel. Now, he's recently been on the blogs because one of his girlfriends, I'll call her name in a minute, she has come out to talk about his personal life, something which I really do frown upon. I can't stand seeing personal things about people who I really shouldn't be knowing personal things about. And essentially what she said is that Willie Paul has been beating her. He's beaten her more than once, and she stayed because she loved him. You know that story. She also said that that Willie Paul has got more than one girlfriend, and he's pretty violent. He doesn't drink or smoke, which surprises her why he's so violent, but that's just what he does. And basically, yeah, anytime he's confronted about his violence, he doesn't accept it. She said that he's got a pretty big ego. So essentially, he's not the person who you're going to sit down and have a conversation with. She's even confronted him about having an affair, having other girlfriends, to which basically she gets no silence. I don't know if I wanted to know any of this.
I know you should publicly shame people who do bad things and they're in the public side. I mean, I guess this is why he wanted to leave gospel. Doesn't seem like a very godly guy.
No.
You know, it doesn't seem like he really into the discipline that being a religious person needs. I feel like, though, it's even if you want to be like, oh, I don't really want him to know his dirty laundry, I do want to stand for the women who want to get out. I want to stand for the women because, to me, I feel like the real reason you say something like this publicly is, one, to either warn women about this person in the situation, and two, to also get enough sort of courage to take that next step. Because if I'm in an abusive relationship, the real reason I'm telling my friends is so they can encourage me, like, girl, you need to get out. We're going to help you out. We're going to pull you out. He's someone that you need to get away from. So I feel like that's what it was. Personally, I feel like it would be a very bad choice. I don't know where she's going to kind of go from here. It would be a super bad choice. So if she ended up saying all of these things and tried staying with him, because now, like, the bell has been rung. Cat's out of the bag. Like, he knows that her name is the one who said that he's doing all these things in public. So I'm more interested to see how his reaction is, because I really hope she's nowhere close to him, because this to me would make an already violent guy more violent.
Yeah, her name, by the way, sorry, is Susan Waniki.
Yeah. And yeah, she exposed him. She exposed him very cleanly out there. I don't know if it was, you know, I don't know. I really didn't know. I know we don't know where it came from. It probably came from anger. It probably came from a whole lot of other built up emotions. Like after finding out about other women and stuff, like you'll get mad. Like shoot, I would. Shoot, I'm gonna spread your dirty linens all over the place. Yeah. But she also spoke about like how she reached out to one of his other girlfriends, and she was claiming that this other girlfriend was saying, yes, I'm with Willie Paul, but this other girlfriend would like take other pictures with other men, and she was just like, oh, it's just a publicity stunt, but I'm with him, Like, it's just a whole bunch of, now I see why he's not a gospel artist anymore.
But I mean, we knew that. There's a video that was circulating of Willie Paul wholeheartedly slapping a female. So we knew he was violent to women. We knew he clearly plays around or pretends to play around with guns. He clearly doesn't live the lifestyle of a gospel artist. My point is, I don't know what we didn't know prior to this story, except for the fact that she was actually one of the girlfriends. That's kind of always revealed. And the worst thing is that there's not going to be any repercussions. I like to see something happening to someone when this is exposed. And unfortunately, what's going to happen is that this is going to trend for all of one day. And that's
but maybe this girl, maybe that was the hopes for this girl. Like, because now her name is in the tabloids. Like, now
as a
she's out there. I mean, even as a victim, like any news is
hungry.
Like she's popular now.
I guess it's
we
just
know her
sad
name.
because the thing is, if that is true, to me, the only thing she's really doing is putting her name in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, if you're out there thinking that a single news break is really what's going to make your career, I have a lot of tough things to tell you. But like this single story is not what's going to get you famous, and especially because the spotlight isn't on you doing anything. It's you being beaten. It's you being, it's you being assaulted. It's not even about you doing something worth talking about. It's more focusing on Willie Paul. And unfortunately, if this does sort of, escape news,
it will.
Yeah, which it kind of will. It just means that your name also escapes with it. No one remembers you. People will just sort of carry on with him like, oh, I guess Willie Paul's just like an abuser. And it shouldn't be something that we accept.
Yeah, there's someone who recently we found out actually is violent to women. And on the one hand, he's violent to women. On the other hand, his public face is really very kind of
healthy sexual
structured, happy,
Yeah.
And just like, like a strong kind of guy. And he seems to be like this amazing guy, but we found out that he's abusive to women. And guess what? There's a club of people in the celebrity world here in Nairobi. And what they do is they protect their
Each
own.
other.
So before you or any dirt reaches that person, it's going to be a long time. Maybe the repercussions eventually might end up being financial. Maybe he can't be endorsed by particular companies because of this rumor. But it's not what you would want. There's no public outcry. This isn't moving anyone. You know what I mean?
And that's so sad. I mean,
it is.
It's sad that people will like look past something so serious. I mean, even look at like R. Kelly, he still has fans, things like that. People will still stand. And like the thing is these are fellow human beings. These are mothers, these are daughters, these are people that you might pass through the street. And Willie Paul is like literally a single guy, who's hurting multiple people. And I feel like, we talked about this before. If you have a problem and you're a celebrity and you're rich, you can get help for it. All he has to do is admit he has a bit of an anger issue and now go address it. I mean, this isn't something that if he didn't handle in the correct way would be completely damning, but he prefers to just ignore it. But at the end of the day, like, you can't be doing this and hitting women when you're in your 30s and 40s. I'm sorry, but we treat younger men very differently about this thing than we do the older generation.
There's something we've actually done which, like, it's not fair.
Yeah.
All of this is alleged.
But there's a video. You even said it yourself. Yes. There's a video of him slapping a woman.
The thing is, that video there was an argument between him and another woman, and you hear slap. And you can hear her reaction. So it's easy for me to conclude. Yeah. But what she's saying is alleged. And that's the truth. It's alleged. What she says of the events is X, Z, and Y. So none of this, we have any proof or fact that it actually happened.
But
I think
if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck,
Yeah.
it's a
no,
duck.
but that's not fair, because if somebody says something like that about you, or I would hope other people
But
would say
if I'm walking
allegedly.
and quacking like a duck.
But my thing is, like, he allegedly has all these bad things going on of him in
Which are proven.
and which may not be proven.
He puts it forward though. He puts this facade of, I'm going to post these guns, I'm going to post these
and
fights.
I'm saying,
he's doing this to himself.
And I'm saying, like, he essentially did do it to himself.
Yeah.
But that's a bad look. Like, for companies that would want to endorse him, that's a very bad look. Like, that's not the guy that you want to portray. Like, so I don't know why you would do that for your own
I think he
image.
wants to do it because, you know, there's this, we talk about it a lot. We romanticize this, like, bad boy vibes, and then these
Chris
men
Brown.
take it too seriously, and they think that they're the kind of guy who's going to be cool rolling with guns and drugs and all these. Willie Paul thinks that just because he left gospel, he's like, well, now I'm going to be rolling deep and I'm going to be carrying a piece with me. Like, he posted a Google photo of a gun. Like, not even one that he had himself. Like, this man thinks he's hard. And the thing is men think they're hard when they can beat on people they know they can beat.
No.
Like, all he is just this bully taking advantage of the fact that the public does love him. But at the end of the day, that's going to catch up with him. He's going to lose his talent, his attractiveness, and then the endorsements also get lost as well.
Again, it's alleged that he did these things. That's factually correct to say that. It's alleged. But I mean, the takeaway from this, like, Willie Paul is one person. He's a celebrity, then this will happen. If you are in that kind of situation and the person is famous, my advice to you is, if somebody is physical with you, there are laws that protect you.
Yes.
Because that avenue, you're gonna find way more than this, which, like, you know, let me name and shame him, because he has so many more people behind you, and it might be so disappointing and discouraging when you talk about it and everyone really is unmoved. I don't want that for anyone.
And then on top of that, if he hits you the first time, he's gonna hit you again.
That's
That's a given.
There's never a time where you're going to be hit once. But, you know, guys, this actually comes on the heels of the woman who was assaulted by Brock Turner, that very famous Harvard case. She actually recently revealed her identity. So the thing is, it's like, just go out there, be strong. People will receive you in a positive way because you're coming from a courageous place. So if this is true, and I guess I have to admit that it's alleged, if this is true, we're going to hope that society carries you forward into a more positive relationship with yourself and your life. But you guys, we're going into kind of a more positive thing, but still unfortunately dealing with the gospel industry and all that rubbish that comes with it. We know the name Wisdom, yeah? And we know Wisdom because he was tied into a lot of different allegations, but now what we're going to talk about is his relationship with Bahati. Right. So he was signed to Bahati's record label, like Eastland's something, I'm sorry, but he was signed to his record label, yeah? And he and Bahati had a very close relationship and then had a very intense falling out. And he was not with them for, I believe, 2 years until recently he came back. And he feels bad because it felt like it was his tail between his legs, you know, asking to be back on the record label kind of thing. But what I like about this is he admitted, he's like, I needed to ask for forgiveness. I needed to come back and realize that I was in a good place. And maybe the fame sort of got to me in a way, like I shouldn't have left when I did. And now he's back with a friendship mended. And we're always here for men being friends with each other and admitting their faults and wrongness. I'm looking at you, bro. But it's, to me, that's my takeaway from it. But it is sad because the article is written in such a way of like, he had to apologize in a not so manly way. It's like, okay, no one likes admitting they're wrong.
Yeah. Especially men.
Exactly. But it's just good that he did. And he's like, this is, because if you're thinking about, I'm going to push my career forward, this is what he thought was the best career move. What do you guys think?
I mean, I was at the EBM. It's
EBM, thank you.
Island's most beloved.
Yes.
It's the label that Bahati does. And he's pretty good, and he's got a lot of people under him. And I think it's wonderful to have a place for musicians to come to. And Wisdom was there. And the way he talked about Bahati was quite genuinely like a dad. Like, you know, he said that there's times when he didn't have any money. He lived with Bahati rent-free, expenses-free for such a long time. And of course, when he was talking about that, there was that shame behind, you know, when they had the falling out, all he did was like, you know, go around and just kind of smack talking Bahati, etc., etc. And when you can go down that far and come back up and say, you know, I was so wrong. I'll give you guys an example. there's somebody who I know who maybe in a space of 2 years damaged the relationship which they had with our family, like in an unreversible way. Irrevocable way.
Oof,
but
dang.
I feel like if you are woman or man enough to just come forward to the people who you have wronged and say, I am so sorry, I crossed the line, I was stupid, I was immature, I was etc, 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 and I completely appreciate the harm I did to you. I'm sorry. It would take so much for somebody not to forgive you, and forgiveness doesn't mean I'm inviting you back to my life, but forgiveness can still be, I send love to you. I don't think you're the person I want in my life, but I still send love to you. To be able to humble yourself, that's no joke. Let alone when it's like man to man, you know, to make yourself go to that level. But I feel like that humility is why it's easy for them Bahati to open his arms back.
Of course, most definitely. And respect to Wisdom for doing that. But yeah, you're right. Like even Wisdom like opens up and says like his mother told him to go apologize. His pastor told him. A lot of people in his life were telling him. And maybe it was just like a weight lifted off his shoulders, you know? Like it could have even been that. And Bahati invited him back in with open arms. And that respect.
I think it's nice though, because I feel like we should create an environment where people are more willing to apologize and not necessarily accept like automatically back in one's life, but I feel like the things in life that you should never be able to say enough of are I love you and I'm sorry. Like there's no, to me, pride attached to when I know I've hurt someone because I don't get to decide I didn't. And like even my father was like, a big, scary special forces guy is the person who taught me that. He's like, if you've wronged someone, you got to make it better. And even if you do it just in this like, listen, I know maybe our relationship will never get to where it was, but I want you to know that I acknowledge what I did. And I think that that's powerful, and especially because, I mean, in the gospel industry, but in the music industry in general, when you teach this idea of like, you messed up, you go back and you fix it, it's powerful. I'm not gonna lie, I am the kind of person who forgiveness for me is usually laced with space and out of my life. I forgive plenty of people. If you do me wrong, I will nurse myself back to health. That's number one. Even in my breakups, I don't need closure from you. I'm a whole woman. I will closure myself. I will close the door myself, and I will learn from my mistakes. I will do the pain and the hurting. Forgiveness for me has never been, I forgive you and nothing changes. I've never been able to be that person. And sometimes I'm so attached to what it was, like for example, maybe like how our friendship is, and when it changes, I'm so attached to how it was that I can't accept this new version as the type of friendship that I prefer to not have you. So a lot of my forgiveness comes with, I forgive you, but you need to be over there. Really?
Yes, because for me, once trust is broken, like
especially with me too. When trust is broken, it's very hard to get it back. It's almost nearly impossible.
Me too.
Like once you've messed up, it's like no, I can't see you in a different light. There's no way.
For me, like I want to walk through life as though people can get relationships back. I don't want to be the person who thinks you have to be over there when something transitions into a different state. But I will say that if there is a situation or a fight in a relationship, I'm the person like, okay, so now I know the way that's best to handle you. Now I know the best way to communicate with you specifically. Because if I walk knowing that I'm not everyone's cup of tea, then I can also know it's like, okay, how far do I need to take this relationship and really work with it and mend it? But I'm also the person, I feel no shame in apologizing. Literally, I could apologize every day for the rest of my life if I stepped on your toe, because I'm not attached to that. I'm more attached to making sure what I'm doing is effective and our relationship is like affected and effectively mended.
But there's a difference between like you guys having an argument and versus like somebody hitting you or cheating on you. That's a big difference.
But that's not even like an I forgive you for you. This is, I'm gonna move on with my life. There's because I don't have to forgive you to move on. I have grudges that I will probably hold for the rest of my life. Doesn't mean that it's like lessened the effectiveness of me as a person. It's just, I just know that next time I see you, the grudge is gonna be at the forefront. It's just now without you, it's in the background.
See, that's the thing. I can't do that. For me, I can't hold a grudge for anyone. There's no one on planet Earth, no matter how hard, no matter how bad they did me, that I hold a grudge on. When I take those, I would say it's like a month or 3 months. When I take those 3 months off, my life is over. I don't eat. I just hate everything. I don't shower. When I get past that side, girl, these days, when I get past the other side of, I'm cleansed from that. I know what I've learned. I know what to do better. When I see you, you are as good as a stranger. The emotions are completely clear, and I am.
Awesome.
That grudge thing, that's what holds me.
I can just shift it. I can just shift it.
I know,
around.
that could kill you. But let us know what you think. Like,
hold
do
a
you
grudge?
hold grudges? The hashtag is Ebru Let's Talk, and the SMS is 40920. So this next story that we're going on to is about Zari, the boss lady, she's called on her social media. But Zari Hassan, everybody knows her as Diamond Platinum's ex, a lot of people. But she's gotten popular with her businesses and everything else going on. But on social media, she's been flaunting her new bae. She calls him Mr. M. She calls him King Bae, and even she calls him legal hubby.
Yeah.
Like, and she had posted like a ring on social media. Like, things are crazy in that world. But online detectives think they have unmasked who this King Bae is, apparently. And okay, so there was a picture she had posted of her King Bae, and he's like on a couch with a checkered suit, and he has a watch on his left hand. And then I guess that same day or so, her manager had also posted a picture of him in the exact same suit with with a watch on his left hand. So everybody is thinking that this unmasked guy is her manager, Gaston Anthony. It is her current manager, and yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but it's allegedly.
For a businesswoman, I
Yes,
don't know if it's so smart mixing business and pleasure.
Okay, that's what I said.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna go off as, Zari the boss lady, maybe she be Zari the boss lady who's dating her manager. Weird, just strange.
But it's allegedly.
I feel like it's too much work. Do you see those people on social media who will put up their boyfriend or girlfriend with a big emoji on the face?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Get it out. Get it
Why?
out. First of all, it's like, what? Okay, so what's the privacy? You want us to know you're in a relationship, but not with that face.
Big
Like,
deal.
who is that important? Nobody is that important.
No, but sometimes you just like their identity not being shown.
Then close them off. Who cares?
Yeah, then don't post the
It's
photos.
so much effort to be doing this whole with Bae, and all we can see is his sock.
No, but
all we can do is his hand.
look,
Goodbye.
this is what it does to people. It makes you act like that.
What?
And that's the reaction
that's
that some
half
people,
truth.
that's the reaction some people
You are
want
too
sometimes.
self-involved
Very
to
true.
think that what we're gonna do.
No, but
You're
that's
mad.
a good point.
But Lydia, are you mad?
Let me tell you what is it. It's like, why do you think you're that important? It's not that important. If you want to post your relationships, be open.
If you call
It's
yourself
annoying
Zari
to
the boss
see.
lady, number one, you do think you're that important, okay? Like, she does think this, she's that.
So
But
annoying.
I get where Naomi's coming from.
That's their business,
you want
Lydia.
the little rise out of people, but the thing is let's just hope that when she does make whoever this guy's face public, she doesn't pretend like, oh my God, I didn't want people to act like this. Yes, you did. So just own what you do.
Isn't she like 40?
Own the doesn't matter. She's, first of all,
I'm done.
there's a whole different argument over this.
No, but
She likes this stuff. She wants to still be in the spotlight. First of all, look at how she's talking to Diamond's current. Look at how she's talking to Tanasha. Like, she wants people to talk about her, and so the easiest way to do it is to give half-truths because people want to fill in those blanks.
I feel like I'm 40 years old, mother of 5. You have apparently 25,000 business. Be who you want to be. Like, if you want us to know who your man is, tell us.
And this
If
is
you
who she
don't,
wants to be. She
Lydia,
wants to be messy.
Lydia,
Let
are
her
you
be
mad?
messy.
Like, other
Yeah,
people do
it's
it all the time.
annoying.
It's not annoying. You're just mad
No,
because
it's
you're-
annoying to
listen,
me,
I know,
boo-boo.
exactly.
Thank you.
You're just
To
mad
me.
because you have to go on their page and now you have to scroll down, stalk them.
Right.
No,
see if
let
she
me tell you.
tagged
First of all, if I
anybody.
see you have you and your boyfriend and it's a love heart next, I don't care. You clearly don't want me to know. So now I know you've got a man whose face is a bit peculiar. What do I learn from
Us-
that? That's
listen,
all I've learned. Your man might be ugly.
We are in the business of moshene, okay? That is what we gotta be.
Irritating.
This is the thing. This is our business. This is our livelihood. We are in the business of moshene, so we are going to go through with it. But at the end of the day, I feel like no matter how old she is or whatever, we know who she is. We see how she acts. She likes this stuff. At the end of the day, she likes this stuff, okay? She wants you to be like, ooh, who's the one who bagged Zari and all of those kids?
it keeps her like being.
It keeps her
this
young.
is the reason why we're talking about
her
her on
young.
this table.
Let me tell you, and I find it annoying not because you can't do what you want. Obviously, it's your life; you're still doing it. I find it annoying because I wouldn't do that. You know, it's such a far reach from what I would do. It's either I want you to know I've got a man, or I don't want you to know I've got a man. Like, end of conversation. And also there's like, ooh.
Lydia's mad because I do that. I'll do that.
You put up your man with a lover.
I sure would. Because you ain't gonna know my business. You just gonna know I'm in a relationship.
So Naomi, you like people knowing the half truths.
Yes.
You like, I'm taken, but I heard.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna make Lydia as mad as she is right now.
First of all, I won't be. I'm blocking you.
If that's the case, now can we make her more mad? And when you do date somebody, you tell me, and then I won't tell her.
Yes. I can.
Oh my goodness.
That is so crazy though. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, let me tell you guys. I find it annoying because, as I said, I'm a bit more of a black and white person than like these great people over here. Whichever way you want to be, like, you know, be who you want to be. Anyway, you can let us know what you think. The hashtag is Ebru Let's Talk, and the SMS line is 40920. We're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more tea and talk that talk. See you soon.
We're on top. Hey, ladies, we're on top. Hey, we're on. We're on top. Hey, ladies, we're on top. Hey, we're on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. If you missed the first part of the show, you can catch it on YouTube. But we're here. The hashtag is Ebru Let's Talk, and the SMS is 40920. So this next story that we have, Gabu from P Unit and Yvonne Dark, she's an artist. Both of them are artists. They were actually recently shooting a music video. And I guess apparently it was in the streets, or I don't know exactly where the location was, but it involved children, having young children on set. And so a police officer who I guess happened to walk by came up to them and were asking them if the children's parents have given consent for these children to be in the music video, which Gabu and Yvonne Dark said yes they did, but the police officer obviously didn't believe them, so he detained the children for up to 12 hours. 12 whole hours until the children's parents could come and say that yes, they had given consent, which they had. This is absolutely ridiculous to me. And Gabu even goes on to talk about like the politics and, you know, security like in Kenya and how like just this is extraordinarily crazy. Like obviously like they didn't steal these kids off of the street. You know what I mean?
You see how the law works. The law works law works where when the guilty and the innocent have to be treated the same way. That's how any law is gonna work. So where this time they're innocent, but there's a situation where they aren't innocent and children are getting exploited. You see what I mean? So now they enforce the law, and when the person is innocent, it's like, come on, what a waste of time. What did you do? But they're not there just to protect us from people who look presentable and who look nice. They're here to protect us from everyone. So if they didn't have proof, maybe from their parents, like written consent or something, for them to feel like we need to hold these children until we have a confirmation that they have consent, it's only inconveniencing because we know they're innocent and we know these people, they weren't going to do that.
Here's my thing though, here's my thing, leave alone the idea of whether or not we know, you know, P Unit and Yvonne Dark were like good or bad. What I have an issue with is why did it take the police 12 hours?
Yes.
Because the thing is if I'm a parent and because obviously I'm gonna have the number of either Yvonne or or Gabu's like people. And the moment I get a call being like, listen, the police have taken your kids, I'm not gonna wait a whole 12 hours. I'm not going to do that. So I don't understand why the parents were not communicated with a lot quicker or with these people. I don't know if it was embarrassment or what. But even on the side of the police, I almost said Kanjo. Even on the side of the police, why is it that you had these people, these kids for 12 hours, and you as a police officer didn't work that hard that these kids were left there? I don't, because that is just something to me that on the side of a police officer is like abhorrent. What were you doing? Why would you hold these minors in your custody for that long?
It's not on the side of the police, it's on the side of the parent. For example, there's a time...
No, maybe the parents weren't called.
not,
What
yeah.
if the parents were not
First
even
of all,
called?
as soon as the children were taken, the PU unit, they communicate with the parents instantly, obviously. Like, yo, we're here with your children, and they're saying blah, 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 blah. So they were communicating with, first of all, the urgency of, we don't know where these parents were.
Yeah.
Maybe we have a job where we can get out whenever we want because it's an emergency.
But a 12-hour shift? Maybe they were not in Nairobi. Maybe they weren't in
Yes,
the
maybe
city.
they're not
Yeah,
somewhere
maybe they
close.
travel.
Like, I can
Yeah.
see that. There's a time when I was in Tigoni in primary school, Kiherehere Lydia, and I got left by the school bus. Right?
Oh my God,
I
little
did.
Lydia.
Yes, and back in the day, obviously they weren't cell phones and things like that. So it got so dark, and I was like, whoa, I think it's not time. Like, I've been playing for so long, and I came and the school was empty. And the two friends who I was playing with used to be picked up super late because they lived closer. So I had to find a way to, like, I went to the shop of this lady who knew my mom. Then she found a way to get me home, like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But my point is, when, like me, if I was that child, when the police take me, they wouldn't try and find me to my parents because what do they know? They would have my parents come to them. So the police can't start going to disperse his children to people they don't know.
Not that way,
Yeah.
but in this way of, like, this article, in my opinion, would be very different if it went the way of the guy, P unit, they called the parents were like very much informed, and then they told the police officer, listen, they either have consent to be with the kids, we know they're there. Because first of all, if the parents were called when the police were there, this wouldn't have been a situation because they would have gotten verbal consent over the phone. If the police really wanted to push issues and say, we don't believe you're the real parents.
Yeah, verbal consent doesn't work here.
We don't believe you're the real parents, it's fine. But then also, if that's the case, then they should have known not to take the kids anyways. Because unless, Sijru, you have a recording of someone with the birth certificate of the kid, because even written consent, how do you prove the parent wrote it? Like, that means that these people were in a no-win situation first place. But even if you want the parents to come to the police station, 12 hours to me seems as though, honestly, maybe it's just because I'm skeptic against police officers, but I feel like those police officers took those kids into custody to scare the crap out of Kina P Unit and Yvonne. Like, and Yvonne, I know her personally. Yvonne's a mother of like 2 boys. She wouldn't mess around with this kind of thing. So I do think that these police officers were like, these guys don't even have the permits for this music video, they're just messing around, let's scare them. And that's what I think happened.
I don't feel like it was scaring them, but I feel like they were
pushed around.
I feel like they were malicious. Like, you see the relationship with the entertainment industry and the police and NEMA. It's not smooth running.
Yeah.
It's not smooth running. Even like taking photography in town and things like that. There's some tension that goes on with law enforcement and the entertainment industry.
It's a gray
so
area.
There's nothing here that surprises me.
Yeah.
Once you have a minor in your custody, I know it's easy to be like, we know each other. Your parents, so bring them on, but legally the amount of work you're supposed to do to have a minor working under you is over here. It's like written consent, it's permission, it's so many things that go on, and the police know that. So they know you've just come and done the tunajuana
it's just for a day.
Yes, so they hold you on the fact that you haven't gone to the letter, and they know you're not being malicious, but they can hold you because you have not done the due diligence to do exactly what you're supposed to do. Because just take my kid doesn't really work.
And the funny thing is, though, of course, this only really happens in situations where money is a possibility to be involved. Because you could be walking with your auntie when you're young, but it's like, can you prove you're this girl's auntie? What do you mean you know the mother? We don't know who you are, kind of thing. So it's only this situation of like, oh, these people have the money to record. Let's see what we can do. How hard are you willing to work to get this to happen? And unfortunately, the situation really severely escalated.
And maybe Gabu and Yvonne Dark didn't want to pay off the police just to like turn the other cheek and walk away. And maybe the police, out of maliciously, Like just detain the kids for 12 hours. Like we'll never know.
Poor those poor kids. Though.
Yeah, that's so mean.
This is something which like I'm not surprised honestly at all. But it's sad sometimes when clearly we're trying to do this the right way and we haven't broken any laws and we have gotten consent, but you want to go over and above to just make our life difficult. I can completely appreciate that. And maybe the police officer really did do their due diligence. It's just that we love unit. What we're gonna say.
I know.
Anyway, the hashtag is Ebru. Let's talk in the SMS and it's 40920. Let us know what you think. Do you feel like there's a tension in the relationship between law enforcement and the entertainment industry, or maybe it's the entertainment industry who just feel they can do what they want? Anyway, it's Friday, and as we usually do on our Friday, it's time for our favorite segment, Talk That Talk. So, I mean, in friendships, there's these unwritten rules of what governs friendships. Don't go with your friend's exes. Don't outshine your girl in a party, as we said here. Don't be the needy friend. Don't be the cold friend. There are some rules that govern friendship, and one of them, for whatever reason, is you gotta tell me your business. And this is something which most of us feel. I, for one, because I'm a very open person. So the friendships which I have, you can't be a super close friend to me if you're not an open person. Because it ends up being, I'm here being open with you, but really you're being cold to me. So today in Talk That Talk, we're going to talk about, are you entitled to your friend's business? What do you think?
No. You are not entitled to your friend's business. I'm not cold. You're not entitled to anything of mine. We're friends, and you're not entitled to anything of mine.
But you know exactly what I mean by entitled.
I know what you mean. And entitled is a strong word, especially to say. But you're not entitled to anything. But if I don't want you to know my business, you're not gonna know my business. Like I'm not gonna sit there and sulk and be like, and then you're like, what's wrong, Naomi? And I'm like, oh, nothing. Like it's basically like kind of making you beg for like what's wrong with me. No, but I'm just gonna like hide it, because there's some friends out there who like not to tell certain things to, because your business is gonna be out there on the streets. Like you have those friends, then you have like your best friend who you tell everything to. Like you just go, like somebody tells you, okay, and don't tell anybody, and you just go running to your best friend because your best friend's not gonna tell anybody. But I don't feel like you're entitled. No, you're not entitled.
Can I ask you, what do you guys think I am?
What do you think?
Like, do you think that I feel like I'm entitled, and do you think that I'm like an open person? Like, do you think people?
No.
I allow people to be
I feel like you're an open person. Yeah, I feel like you're an open person. I would say that. You're not warm, but you're open. So even when she's telling you her business, she's not gonna do it in this cuddly way, but she's telling you.
But I feel like you don't feel like you're entitled to know everybody else's business.
No, I'm a nosy,
You're
bitch.
nosy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely nosy. So, but if you were to like seriously tell me like I don't feel like talking about this, but I also want to be a problem solver. Like if you come to me with a problem, I really want to be the person where you're like, wow, that was really good advice, thank you. Me though, I'm one of those people that either my best friend knows it or nobody does. Like in this sense of. The things that like you guys know and my really good friends know are pretty much the same. Like you guys know kind of everything that I want you to know. And then there are the things that like will be buried with me that literally no one knows. And I will take with me, and either they're like deep, dark family secrets or they're just like things that I've experienced. Because there are definitely things that my best friend in the U.S. doesn't know, and I also think that just because I feel like I've had like a really unique life, and part of that uniqueness is unfortunately trauma, and so it's like, I mean, you say I'm cold, right? That's because I have no idea how to warmly share bad news. Like, like you guys, I think, like my husband went to the hospital today, like I don't know how to share that news. I'm just like, you guys, I am late because Jasper hurt himself. Like, I can't share it in a good way.
And I don't even think necessarily your code is like, even your tone, even how you articulate yourself is just very matter of fact. So you're not emotional about it, oh, Dana, why were you late today? Jasper is in the hospital.
Duh.
You're not gonna reel me in and like warm me up.
And you know what's so funny is your reaction to that. Your reaction to that was so aggressive. What the hell? And I'm like,
you know, because you're not warming me to it. Like if that was Naomi, I'd be like, oh girl, like let me tell you,
I've had a
that.
day.
You know, she's like, oh, this morning was really hard, and then, you know, she would have warmed me up to it. That's what you don't do.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
so it's
warm
not that you're
people up.
cold. You're just very matter of fact.
I'm like, this is what
And we all
happens.
know, and we all know Lydia. Lydia feels entitled to everything.
Of course.
Everybody's business.
Let me tell you.
She's what does she call it? The online relative. Yeah. She's the online relative, the
Instagram
in-person
in-laws.
relative.
Instagram in-laws.
Yeah, the Instagram in-laws. If you feel entitled to celebrity information, you of course feel entitled to your friend's information.
Let me tell you, the truth is, like, there's the closest circle to me of trust. Those are only people who I'm nosy with. If you look around, please tell me who else I even care about. I don't even care who's waking up and who's not outside of my circle. I love people. I have a really good relationship with people in general, but that genuine care is really only to this, you know?
Yeah.
I want to know what Naomi's doing after work. Like, you know, girl, what are we doing? But because you are in this space, but outside that, I don't care. I'm a very open person when you're in this space. So I'll tell you my business. I'll share my hardship. I think I've been open with you guys about too much.
We've been through it.
Right? And, you know, I feel like you guys have been through with me through love, through heartache, through my singleness now.
Pleasure and pain.
Right? I'm a that share of a person.
Yeah.
So when you're warm enough to be that close to me, I only feel like that's what I want from you. And not because I'll do anything with your business or anything changes if you tell me, but it's like there's a closeness I feel.
Why
It's
does
like,
anyone talk to me? If I'm so not warm, I'm like, why does anyone get along with me?
No, but not everyone. If you have, you know, Sunshine Lady over here, you don't need that with everyone.
Yeah.
We get different things from
You are
different
enough
friendships.
sunshine.
I'm
for all
enough
of us.
sunshine.
Lydia is enough sunshine for this whole table.
My point is, I'm not entitled. It's just it's like,
You want to be.
I know this has like a nasty connotation, and I don't mean it that way, but it's like, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. There's an intimacy
No, of course.
with that. Show me your darkness, I show you my darkness. Automatically, we're on a deeper level of intimacy than we were
I just
before.
feel like my dark is so dark.
Huh?
I feel like the thing is for me and people like me, it's like my dark is so dark and I don't know what to do. Because if I'm inviting you into my darkness, it's like, okay, so we're just gonna sit in it. Like, because I don't know how to do that. And I think you're right. I'm very matter-of-factly with any information. Even my mom. I had a great uncle that died, and so I came home. She's like, by the way, your Uncle Herb died. And I was like, oh. Like, you couldn't have warmed it up a little? I wasn't even in the same room as you.
That's you.
That's who you are now.
I am my mother.
And I think you made a great distinction, Naomi. When your friend comes to you looking, acting, being all sulking and sad, right? The natural thing to me, if I'm your friend, is, hi, my friend, what can I do for you, or what's wrong, right? So when you close that door, you've opened me up halfway because I can see you're going through pain, but you won't let me all the way where I can be part of the solution. That's annoying, and that's kind of toxic. But if you are going through something and I don't know because your mood is great and everything like that, you are completely entitled to keep that to yourself because you're not bringing that energy over here. But you bring all this sad energy, and then when I ask, I'm nosy? Come on.
Well, yeah, you're walking in
But
the room.
Lydia, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just that, like, I guess you're learning me. Like, I have different moods every day. Like, one day I'm like kind of low key and just chill, and Lydia will be like, Naomi, what's wrong? I'm like, Lydia, do I have to be happy all the time? Like, come on, Lydia. Like, do I have to be cheery, go like, yay? No, Lydia, I'm chilling. Like, she's like, what's wrong? I'm fine, Lydia.
I think that's the issue.
But it's sweet, though.
It's sweet, and I think that's the issue with Lydia being like an energy person. Because your energy, I feel like, is very much affected by our energy.
As soon as someone walks in and they're in a bad mood, stop.
Like Lydia, like
I feel it.
You see the dress she's wearing, it will turn black. Like Lydia will just sort of gray.
I will feel it. I kind of soak in the energy of people around me. What I'm learning to do is to be like, though, is like, it's not your responsibility to keep your energy high for me to stay high. So I'm learning to remove you
Your
or
own
remove myself.
responsibility for your own
Yes,
energy.
so, okay, Naomi is in a bad mood and she's having a bad day. Okay, that's cool. She's allowed to have that the same way I am. So let me remove myself from the situation and go and tough around with Dana, who's in a better mood.
Right.
You
And
know
I
what I
think
mean?
it's hard though, because I feel like even when someone asks me like, oh, you know, like, are you okay? It's hard to initiate the conversation. I don't know if you guys find it difficult, but if I'm in like, you know, this workplace, for example, and I come in a bad mood and someone's like, oh, is something wrong? I have a tough time just like dumping it all out. But I think at the end of the day, you guys, you have to remember.
We know.
You have to remember that everybody is different. We all communicate differently. But if you believe your friends are your authentic friends, they won't care what darkness that you have. I thought Naomi was laughing, but she was actually just sneezing. It was just the sneeze, you guys. We're actually friends, okay? It's time for game time. It's time for game time.
We're on top. Hey, ladies, ladies, we're on top. Hey, we're on top.
Okay, so dang Naomi. So this game is a classic, and it is one of our favorites. It's yes, it's who? What is it? Who's most likely to?
Who's most likely?
Who's most likely to?
And yes, we have each other's names.
Yes, we have each other's names. So I'm gonna read off sort of who the questions, and we each sort of just hold up a name. And it's simple stuff, but it usually turns out to be the funniest because we almost never agree.
Yeah.
So the first one is, who's most likely to sleep in a public place? Yeah! There we have it! Even you guys, today we were on a project and I thought Lydia was gonna pass out standing.
No, actually yesterday, let me give you the story. Yesterday we had such a long morning, like doing a whole stuff. We had a long morning and we came back to work. We ended up being here like 5 hours early. Lydia literally like laid out on this little couch we have upstairs. Her legs spread across another table. Like Lydia felt like was knocked out. I was like,
Lydia will be comfortable wherever she is.
I need to sleep because I want energy to be here with you on my bed.
Lydia will be comfortable wherever she pleases. Okay, so the next one, laugh at a bad moment.
don't be looking at other people.
I feel
like you, Naomi.
Naomi is also, because you know, Naomi, you have like a,
how many times
I don't have a lot of giggles.
laugh about the wrong places all the time.
You're like Parsi. Shout out to our makeup artist Parsi, who literally laughs at everyone's pain.
Everyone.
What is it? I think Lydia forgot her straightener and she died. Oh God.
Awful.
Eat someone else's food from the fridge. Really? Wow. We're all. Why?
Because Dana, you're obsessed with food. You would cross a lot of boundaries for food.
I would not.
That's why.
I am bougie enough to order my food. Yeah.
What? No, I wouldn't.
I actually do kind of think it's Lydia.
It is Lydia.
Because I would order my own food and be upset that I had to spend money. But I would.
I'm an empath.
If
I
my
can't touch other people's
if
stuff.
my food got taken, that's like the cardinal sin. Like that's that's the worst. So I wouldn't do it to anyone else. Okay, misplace or forget their child.
Oh God, you know.
I'm gonna. I only say this because Lydia is so unattached to the world.
I'm not attached to things.
Lydia,
they're just things.
Hey, a child is not a thing.
No, but
no, it won't be me.
child.
No, because I'm a people's person. It would be Naomi. I'm a people's person. I would lose that. I would lose my car, but no.
It would be, but you'd lose your car with your baby sitting in it.
No, I wouldn't. A baby, a human, I wouldn't.
No, because
my love is attached to humans.
Okay, but you know, have your mom ever forgotten me? My mom has forgotten me multiple times.
My mom is.
My mom, she would get arrested so quick.
Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I just did that to you. Date a famous person. I guess we're famous people. I date myself. Yeah. Oh. Naomi,
you said you wouldn't. You said you wouldn't.
I said I wouldn't date anybody in the music industry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so but like
if he's famous,
a rich famous man.
Yep, sure would.
No.
Bosses are famous.
Bosses
so.
are
Exactly.
famous.
All right. Date for a free dinner. That's you.
What? I said not anymore. No, I said that. I said I used to do that, but not anymore.
Okay, so that means you're capable of doing it though. So like that is still in you, Lydia. That capability is still there.
First time, shame on
They
who?
attack you.
First time, shame on who?
It be your own people sometimes. Okay. Pretend it's their birthday when out at a restaurant or out at a club. Yeah. I honestly
sure
feel
would.
I'm
I sure
surprised
would.
that you haven't told us a story of you doing that
Ghetto as
already.
hell. Naomi.
Hey.
Sure would.
I am genuinely surprised that we don't have a story of Naomi doing it already.
I know.
So this one is, I feel like this one's a sour note, but it's have an affair. Oh, that was so snappy that I've dropped my thing. Wow, that's only because I'm the married one. This is literally because I'm the married one and none of y'all are married. Wow. Okay, so who do I think is a giant butthead?
She loves her husband.
Who do I think is a giant butthead?
No, let me tell you, no, Dana
loves-
has said here on this table, not once, not twice, not 3 times, that even if her husband stepped out, that's not a deal breaker.
Yeah,
so
it's not.
chances are she's just as fluid
But
on her
also,
end.
it's different because of the gender in which we're stepping out with. Like, he doesn't
But see,
mind.
stepping out is a conversation.
Yeah,
So,
the thing, yeah, I would say that it's not the black and white area it once was.
Okay.
So, but in this sense of like stepping out with another man is a no-no. Like that is
Wait,
not.
you.
Yeah, me
Oh.
stepping out with another man is a no-no. Me stepping out with someone who's not a man, you know, is a maybe. You know.
Great.
Okay, good
That's
to know.
Friday. Do we have
Good to
another
That's
one?
Friday. That's Friday. We need to call it quit. I feel like I just dug myself a deep, deep hole.
You have another
we
one?
do not have another one. Can you guys
don't?
think of anything right now?
Yes.
Ask.
Who's most likely to? I can't say that.
Netflix cheat.
Netflix.
What does that mean?
You know, you guys don't know Netflix cheating?
Who's most
It's
likely?
when-
No, to stay in the bed all day and watch TV.
That's still Naomi.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't just say for yourself.
I
But
love my
Netflix
dad.
cheating is when you're in a relationship and you guys have a show that you watch together, but maybe he's not home and you really want to watch it.
That's duh.
It's me! No, I take pride in the fact that I won't Netflix cheat. I feel like that's
Yeah,
y'all.
I'm not an animal. No, I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't.
I'm not
An animal. We
I
haven't.
wasn't raised by wolves.
Okay, who's
So Naomi.
most likely to? Yeah, Naomi. Who is most likely to get drunk, puke, and not tell anyone?
Get drunk and pick and not tell anyone.
And not tell anyone.
Nah, I'll tell everybody. I ain't got no shame with anything I do. You see me getting drunk, then
Get
I
drunk.
feel like it's Naomi though.
It is.
Naomi, I feel like you're so prideful. You're like, I can hang with the best of them. I can drink like anyone. Woo woo. And then suddenly you're gonna drink and be like, I'm so sick. Buy me tickets.
you know we haven't done enough of the nice ones. So
Okay, yes.
who's most likely to run by your side when you are like maybe like something really bad has happened to you?
You see, thank you.
Yeah, I would too. But
Yeah.
Dana is for the big times. Me, I'm for
for
the
the big
everyday.
times.
I'm for the
Yeah.
everyday.
Yeah, I love it.
Who's most likely to come hang with you, even really if they're not in the mood?
I could see actually Naomi as well though. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I feel like y'all two are the day-to-day. Like, if I call one of you, even both of you, like you guys, like, I need somebody
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
both of you would come.
Yeah.
But if you were like, Dana, I need to kill somebody, I'd be like, dope.
That's true. Let me tell you, when we do these kind of games with you, we want to share more about ourselves. And some of the things which you see are actually genuine too. We do have these weird personalities outside, not even what you might see. And we just want you to see a little bit more of ourselves. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for starting the weekend with us. We absolutely appreciate you. And I think let's make an extra point today. You at home, you make our show. So thank you very much for being here. And until next week, Wednesday. By the way, next week, Wednesday, we have got an amazing announcement for you. So make sure you're here at 6 p.m. Have yourself an amazing evening. My name is Lydia KM. That's Lydia KM on all social media handles.
My name is Dana DeGrazia. That's Hustle Goddess.
Ain't nobody read that. My
I
name is
know.
Naomi One Boy, WAMBOE
Can you be proud of
on
that chain?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.